going to run through the a basic idea of what I plan, or how I plan to lay the page out. So you'll need all the pattern papers that you cut out. You'll need your pattern paper number 1, the piece that measures 15 centimeters across and 25 centimeters down. That one's going to come, I think it's about 1.5 or 2 centimeters from the bottom, but I'll give the proper measurements in a short while. And then you're going to need the other piece that measures 5 by 25, that goes across like that. Then we're going to need the butterfly piece that also measures 15 by 25. And then I've got this pattern paper number 3, the numbers paper for me, ones with a number on. I'm going to have it going over thereabouts. And then on this side we also have it, the other piece that's going to go here is your pattern paper number 3 over there. I think this one we might actually have it run under slightly. Then your pattern paper number 4, the piece that measures 10 by 11, is going to go somewhere over there. And then the other piece, I think it's 6 by 12, is going to, I think this one should also then run under like that. So something like that. Okay. And then the photos. So I always try to create my base and then put the photos where I think I'd like them to be, because that could possibly change. So like I said, I want 1 portrait and 2, listen to me, I want 1 landscape and 2 portrait, and I think that's more or less where I will place them. All right, so that's starting to take a little bit of shape. And then you remember these pieces that we cut out that I said to you we should ink the other side. I'd like to add a little bit of that diagonal in here. And this is like it's got a bit of the green and the blue coming through. I'd like to use more of the, have more of the blue show. And if I slide it in so that the green goes under like that, you can trim it off if you want to, then that'll allow for just a little bit of the diagonal of the blue to stick out like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same at the top here. Just going to slide it in so it runs under there and like that, and also so that the same amount of blue sticks out over there as what it does here. And here some of the green is sticking out, but it's not a problem. I can hide that with an embellishment. So for me that's going to look quite nice. And then you remember this piece that I cut, it had 2, where's the other, there it is. Remember the piece that looked like this? Okay, so I cut it 4 centimeters from the top, and I took the 2 little pieces that were left and cut them in half. All right, so I think this will look, I want to put this at the top here. So it's going to go slightly behind like that. And I'd like for the "You are beautiful inside and out" to stick out like that. And then I'm going to add the little sticker, the little piece that, the sticker, these little pieces that I cut out. I think it'll look good to have one, and I know I'll have to trim it to have it run across the page, but it's going in the middle of my page, slightly behind the joys of not sticking as I go. Okay, so it's running slightly behind the "You are beautiful inside and out." And have a little bit more of it over. Okay, so like that. Can even come over just a little bit more, and we can maybe move this over even a bit more. Like that. We'll work out the exact placing when I start to stick, but you can kind of get an idea of where I'm going with that. Then obviously with me, if I have something happen here, I work in a diagonal. I either work diagonally or I work in a triangle or opposite, and sometimes all of it in one layout. So there are no real rules. So this little piece I think then will look quite nice if we slide it in under here, and it'll just bring that little bit of journal paper that's up there, it'll bring it in down the bottom of here. So that's all starting to take shape quite nicely. So before I start to add my embellishments, I thought that I would like to get my title in place. And originally my idea was to have the title on here and have this stick out from underneath my photo with that, and then have this one over here. This was my original plan, to have something like that, but for some it just wasn't working, so I changed my mind. I'm going to still want to have this piece sticking out underneath here. I'd still like to see a little bit of it come out like that. And then this one, I thought to make use of this little ticket that's on here, this label, use it to my advantage and actually use that to put the love onto. So I'm going to set it up that the love, it is just slightly too short for the full word to fit on, but if we place it very cleverly like that, and I take the memories and I have it go under the heart and slightly under the E, it'll look like it fits comfortably on that on the label. And then to make it look like the label doesn't just cut off, I'm going to overlap this piece over the label so that it looks like it disappears in, so that my title can rest on that. And then I have this little word that I will mat, that's going to go over here. It says love these memories. I will also erase the memories when I start to attach. Okay, so I've just stuck these off to the side so I don't lose it, because it's a tiny little sticker and it will go missing quickly. So basically that is more or less where the title is going to be. And when I start to place things properly, we'll get the spacing a little bit better. So love these memories is what the title is going to be. So I have this little label over here, and like I said, in the opposites. So I think that I'm going to then put the other label that we cut out is going to go in over here. So I'm going to have it slide underneath like that, so that the whole way I'm creating, building little layers like this. Okay. So now that everything's in place, it's just a matter of adding some embellishments. So here's all the little goodies, the butterflies. Okay, and then here for this side I have some more butterflies. I didn't use any of the really big ones. I'll show you now. Okay, so off camera, let me find the other one. I colored some hearts the same way we did the hearts over here. Colored them with a fossilized amber mixed with some bundle sage. And also the little arrows that we painted. Remember these ones? We painted 2 in bundle sage and 2 in ice spruce. I just went over them with the fossilized amber. I took the bundle sage ones and painted over them with the fossilized amber, and then did the embossing glaze over them, because it'll just tie it all together. They love this as well. I did the same thing. I left it with the brown and then just put a little bit of dabbed on a little bit of fossilized amber and put the glaze on exactly the way we did the butterflies. Okay, so I have that. So now it's a matter of just finding my little clusters, and my idea was to have something in the corner like this with a little label. I think we can actually have this come over. So I don't want anything to be away from the page. Originally I thought to maybe put my little cluster up at the top here, but then I would need to do something down here, and I didn't want to. I want the paper, the whole way the page is connected, so something is touching something the whole way through. And then I put a little label here, so you can maybe bring this down a bit, and the label can draw it over like that, something like that with the paper clusters. And then I we'll put the documented. I think we can have that down the bottom here. See, maybe just to join it over there, we'll play around. And then the best moments we can then have going over here. Okay, so this creates my visual triangle. I have that, that, and that, or we could use the smile then as a visual triangle as well. So that creates my triangle for me. And then I thought to put a label here, because now we have the opposites. And I'm going to put another tab, this little tag that I cut out, use that as well over there. Okay, and then I thought that these arrows that we cut out would look, that I repainted. I did try and use them as the bundle sage, but they were just too light, and I don't know, it didn't seem to tie in with anything. So by doing that, it just seems to work a little bit better. All right, and then I set about adding in the butterflies. So I think we're going to do one over here maybe, with the bigger one down the bottom here, something like that, and then a little one going off over there. That looks like it could work. I think down the bottom here we might need two, so maybe something like that, so that I have my little three, my cluster of three over here. And then we have these little hearts here, and that's why I needed to do the hearts, is that there were the butterflies, there's the tags, there's repetition of everything except the little hearts. And then that looked to me like it would just replicate or copy these little heart clusters like that, so that I have that then going across like that. Okay, the more we want to add some more butterflies, so I thought to put here where this little piece of green is, if we pop a butterfly in there, you'll only see the blue, you won't see any of that coming through. I think we'll put a bigger one here like that, and then another one here maybe, the baby flying out, so that gives me my three. And then here we can bring this one down maybe, that also looks quite nice over there, and then just ties this in. And then the love this I thought we could have over here, just pointing to the photo on this side of the page like that, and then to bring in a little butterfly and another little heart with that like that. Right, so that is for me starting to take shape. After I had laid everything out, it still looked to me like it needed just that little something to tie it all together. So I have punched out a scalloped border. I punched out 2 scalloped borders and then just cut them up to be able to put them in where I think they should go. So I thought that if I put a scallop border, I don't want a lot of it sticking out, just a little bit. We'll see now. So I'm using some of this brown that I matted my photos in to it just seemed, by adding this little piece in, it just seems to ground the layout. And then obviously I needed it to carry on this side, so it didn't look like it was just up in the air. So it carries on, and it also goes in low over here. Okay, so there's a little bit of it sticking out there. And then I put a little piece under here. Also just a tiny piece of it sticking out, and then carried it through on this side over here. Something like that. And just by bringing in that plane, even though it kind of doesn't run 100% in line, just adding that little bit seems to tie everything together. So this one was bugging me a little bit, and I thought maybe it would look better without it. But no, it definitely needs it in there, I think. You can, if you don't like it, you can leave it out, but I like it in there. And I will just find a way to make that work out so that the same height runs through the whole way. Okay, so I might still add a little bit of washi tape in somewhere. I don't know. We'll see when it's all assembled and I've done all my lines and everything. I'll have a look and see. I might still bring in a little bit of washi tape here and there, but we'll see how that goes. So this is where you would now need, because you have everything assembled, you kind of know where your things need to go. This is where you would need to take a photograph so that you have a reference. Because if you're anything like me, once it's off and I put the glue on, I haven't got a clue where I want it all to go back again. So there we go. So I am going to start to put glue behind everything. I'm going to mat my photos onto the photo. I'm going to mat my photo mats. I'm going to stick them together. I'll put my photos on later. Okay, and then once I've got the glue on, I will be back to help do the background and then the assembly. Right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I have put glue behind everything. I've attached my photo mats to each other. I'm just going to put those aside as well. And like I said, I want to raise the memories. But remember that it is going to, this part of it's going to go over. So I'm only going to put the foam squares on from about over here. So I have my foam squares ready. I'm going to put them, I don't want it to fall flat in my album, so I will put on enough to make sure that it doesn't dent and that it actually stays up. Is that the foam squares are on the back of this memory, so I can put that aside. Okay, I'm going to run through the assembly process, more or less where everything goes. And I did go and have a look. I think that this washi tape, it's a Tim Holtz washi tape, decorative tape. I think this is just going to round everything off really, really nicely. So I will be adding a little bit of the washi tape to the border. We'll see as we go. Okay, so the little pieces that need to tuck under and everything, I'm going to put those aside for now. And we're going to start on the left side of the page, and then I'll work my way over onto the right.